2-3 years back, that was in 2018, I met a man who was telling me about the future. He was telling me one thing, that the church has 2 years to prepare, to do business, to make money, to save, because after that, it will not be possible. It will not be business as usual. I really did not understand, but certainly God had told him much more, because he was telling me about us having gone through 7 years of plenty, which are ending this year. And then after that, similar to the situation of the times of Joseph and Pharaoh, we're going to go through 7 years of scarcity.
When Africa was the largest host of the Jews, it was a superpower. Wherever the children of God were welcomed, that country, that continent, that people, those people were blessed. When Europe was the largest host of the Jews, Britain, Germany, they were great powers. They were in charge of so much of the world. But whenever these countries turned against the children of God, they would be humbled. God would judge them. Today, the largest host of the children of God is America. And what is America today is the superpower. But wherever these countries turned against them, they collapsed. Today, God is moving back to Africa. And America, which has been the greatest defender of Israel, has begun backsliding from this responsibility. Not long ago, we are all aware, those who have been following the international events, there is a country called Iran. The American leaders spearheaded into supporting it to have an opportunity to develop nuclear capacity in the name of building this nuclear capacity for energy use. Yet, we have all been hearing the words that the Iranian leaders have been declaring. They want to wipe away Israel from the face of the earth. This was clearly one of the mistakes that American leaders have found themselves into. Whereas perhaps they would have thought this development is in good faith. But those who have been following the political events can clearly see it's not so. Iran is not likely to honor its commitment on building nuclear capacity for energy use for their country. They have been enriching the nuclear development which they have been having with the ability to make nuclear arms to threaten the nation of Israel. Now, however, allies against the nation of Israel, whether consciously or unconsciously, will be fighting God indirectly. So America, which has been the biggest defender of Israel, is finding itself into a situation where it is now working against the nation of Israel, and the consequences are clear. We have seen when Africa was the largest source of the Jews, it was a superpower. When it turned against them in the generation where Pharaoh, who did not know about Joseph's his heroic works, turning against them, making them slaves, we collapsed. We see it in Europe, Britain. When the children of Israel were disrupted in the Middle East, they ran to Britain, where Britain welcomed them Britain becomes a superpower, but when Britain turned against them, it collapsed. We see German receiving them. When German turned against them, you know the Nazi history, during the time of Hitler, German collapsed. They ran to America. Today, we all now can testify that 25% of the billionaires in America are Jews. America has been one of the most prosperous countries in the world, the largest economy in the world. But because of this mistake, the costs on their economy, the cost on the country of America is now clear that America is on its way down. And when America collapses, crashes, it's not only America going to crash, it's the entire world going to crash. Because 60% of the world reserves are in American dollar. The world depends on America in so many ways. So as God judges the Americans for this mistake, the entire world will equally be judged. But besides that, when you see today, America, which was once a Christian country, is now declining from that responsibility. We all know America was founded on Christian faith. They have been the chief exporter of Christianity. It has been an evangelical nation. But what is happening there will shock anyone. A lot of where they were once is not where they are. They have clearly descended from the godly values that their country had been built on. As we had observed, evil can bring down any nation, no matter how mighty it is. Everybody is now seeing it clearly, the parallels between the great cities of Sodom and Gomorrah and the great mighty America today. A lot of the things that are happening there are a shock to the world. The standards that they had set for the world are not what we are seeing today. And the consequences are as clear as anyone can guess now. And when America comes down like we now know, the entire world will come down with it.